Batman. We all think we know him, right? That dark silhouette on a Gotham rooftop, the master detective, the Cape Crusader. He's one of the most famous characters, ever. But what if I told you the hero we all know and love is just one of, well, basically countless versions? Okay, let's get into it.
It seems like such a simple question, doesn't it? The answer feels totally obvious. But the truth is, that question opens up a door to a reality, or actually a multi-reality, that is so much bigger and stranger than you can possibly imagine. So, let's start with our baseline. This is the guy we all know, straight from the DC database. Bruce Wayne. No superpowers, right? Just one of the smartest people on the planet, an incredible fighter, all driven by that tragedy that took his parents. This is our foundation, our ground zero Batman.
But what if the story didn't just begin and end with Bruce Wayne? I mean, the cowl, that symbol, it's a mantle. And a mantle can be passed on.
Even in the main DC timeline, a bunch of other people have stepped up to be Batman. You've got Dick Grayson, the original Robin, who is Bruce's hand-picked successor. But then there was Jean-Paul Valley, a way more brutal Batman during the whole Nightfall story. Even Tim Drake put on the cowl for a bit. And more recently, Jace Fox has taken on the role as the next Batman. So boom, just like that, without even leaving Gotham, the answer to how many Batman is already at least 5.
And this idea, this symbol, it didn't just stay in Gotham, it went global. Bruce Wayne actually sponsored a whole network of heroes all over the world, inspired by his mission. This group, the Batman of all nations, has heroes like the Knight in England, El Gacho down in Argentina, and Man of Bats, a hero of the Sioux Nation right here in the US. The symbol literally became an international movement.
But, successors and global allies, that's just the tip of the iceberg. To find the real answer, we have to think way, way bigger. We have to talk about the multiverse.
Okay, so here's the key concept. The DC multiverse is basically a massive collection of parallel universes. We're talking infinite Earths, and every single one has a different history. And on so many of those alternate Earths, a Batman rises. But he's not always the one we know.
Now this is where it gets really fun. Check out the contrast here. On Earth 30, in the Superman Red Sun story, Batman is this anarchist freedom fighter trying to take down a Soviet Superman. Then you hop over to Earth 31, and he's a literal pirate. Captain Leatherwing, a swashbuckling hero sailing the high seas. It's wild.
And the range is just incredible. On Earth 43, Bruce Wayne actually gets bitten by a vampire and becomes this undead creature of the night, using his new powers to hunt criminals. But then, on Earth 32, in a universe where he gets a Green Lantern power ring, he becomes the Bat Lantern, a hero of pure willpower and light. Total opposites.
It just proves the idea is infinitely adaptable. On Earth 22, in the famous Kingdom Come story, we see an old Bruce Wayne who's so worn down by his war on crime that he needs a full-on exoskeleton just to keep fighting. Then you've got the crazy crossover world of Earth 1996, where you get Dark Claw, a literal fusion of Batman and Marvel's Wolverine. It shows the core concept is strong enough to bend into any story you can imagine.
Okay, but up until now, all of these versions have been heroes, more or less. What if they weren't? What if we go somewhere even stranger? Because there's another multiverse, a dark one where every single nightmare is real.
It's a really chilling thought, isn't it? That defining, traumatic moment in the alley. What if it didn't forge a champion? What if instead it just completely shattered him? Twisted him into the very kind of monster he swore he would destroy.
And that's where we meet the Dark Knights. These are Batmen from doomed worlds in the dark multiverse. You've got the Batman who laughs, a horrifying mix of Bruce Wayne's genius and the Joker's pure insanity. The Drowned, a Bryce Wayne from a world she destroyed. The Merciless, a Batman who literally became the god of war. Each one is a Bruce Wayne who lost his moral compass and just gave in to his darkest fears, becoming a walking, talking nightmare.
So, we have pirates, vampires, heroes, absolute monsters. How in the world do we even keep track of all of this? Well, the answer is just as fascinating as all the fiction we've been talking about.
Every single Batman we've mentioned today is cataloged in our source for this, the DC database. And the coolest part? It's a fan-run wiki. This isn't some official list handed down from the company. This is a massive, living encyclopedia, built and maintained by a global community of fans who track every little corner of this universe.
And the scale of it is it's mind-boggling. Right now, the database has over 132,000 articles.
Just think about that for a second. Every hero, every villain, every single alternate Earth we mentioned, and thousands more we didn't, all documented by fans. It's an incredible testament to how much these stories mean to people.
Which brings us right back to our first question, but with a whole new perspective. We started by asking, who is Batman? But after all this, maybe the real question is, what is Batman? If that symbol can stand for a Soviet freedom fighter, a space cop, a vampire, and even the ultimate villain, what's the one thing that holds it all together? What does Batman truly represent? That's the question the multiverse leaves for us to answer.